everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's John and Jenna with Flippin' Ain't Easy. And hopefully you guys had a good weekend. I had a very busy weekend. You guys know I was out of town for Friday and Saturday. Came home late Saturday night or Saturday evening. And overall, it was, I'd say, a good time away. You know, thankfully, sometimes you have to get away and get your mind off of things. And unfortunately, eBay knows that I'm away. And when I'm away, the sales won't stay. That's a bad rhyme, but nonetheless, $83 over the weekend in sales. And as soon as I got back into the flow, I'm at a $410 day today. So with technology, apps know this is a fact. You go into your phone. I don't know if there's a way to set it or restrict the apps from doing this, but apps will follow you and know where you're at. And it happens too often, right, for it to be a coincidence. Oh, here goes John again saying this thing about how his sales are down because he left town. Well, it just keeps happening. So, you know, if you, I'm going to come up with a bad analogy here. I guess I can't come up with one. But if you have something happen to you after you, as a result of doing something, and it continues to do that, then there's got to be something to it, right? I mean, can you ignore it? It's just hard to ignore for me. I had a 0 sales day, no sales yesterday, 0. And when I got home Saturday evening, you know, I didn't take off Sunday. I was actually getting things worked on and done and listed a few items on the main account. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but it's definitely a thing. Before we get into what I want to talk about, let people kind of get rolling in here a little bit. I noticed this glitch. I wanted to show this to you. If you sell a variation listing, if you have variation listings and you use coupons, this is what your buyer is going to see. And it could really confuse them and upset them. So I'm going to show it to you right here. So you could see that this item in the variation listing, so I have a Breville espresso machine, and it's like the little foot part of the machine. I have it for $6.99. Well, with the coupon, they can get it for $15.29. I have another part that's $89.99, and it's saying they can get it for $15.29 with that coupon. So I don't know what's going on here. I noticed it because I was creating another variation listing within the other account. Yeah, that's our second account, Desert Deals. And yeah, it's doing the same thing there. And it's broken. It's broken. So now I did go into my main account, try to go in like buy now on this item or a similar item, and it does give the proper 10% off. But if you're looking at that $89.99 item and you're saying, "Wow, I get it for $15.29," and you're getting all excited, you go to checkout, and now it's like, wait, this is bait and switch, right? It makes it seem like you're getting a hell of a deal, and then it just doesn't happen. So don't know if you guys have seen that. That's kind of a glitch of the day, I'd say, or glitch of the week. So want you guys to be careful with promoted eBay promoted listings. And the reason why I say that is because on Friday's show, the premiere, thank you for those who actually hung out with Jenna on the premiere. You were there, right? Because I didn't get to see the chat. Certainly I had no reception, couldn't be a part of it. Big bummer. But nonetheless, thank you for those of you who were watching. Do you know how many we had watching?
The most I saw at one time was 78.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I really thought it's something I've been wanting to do, talk about the promoted express but priority, and kind of going through it, showing you what it is and showing how it affects my account. And of course, I immediately went in and paused the account or that campaign, that is. If they want to give me $30 on a $39.99 item, take it. Okay. So there we go. We're going to get our sale here right now. And hold on. I'd love to hear it. Hit the like button to get your sale within the next 24 hours, by the way.
He hasn't heard it in a while.
Yeah, I just want to know what it sounds like. I forgot what it sounds like. So we're going to hopefully hear something here pretty soon. No, it's going to be on your phone. because it's on your store.
Well,
Nonetheless,
it's not going to go off because I have my.
you have it off.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're getting our sale within the next 24 hours because I think she hit the like button, and you guys should too.
No,
You didn't hit the like button? Well, I knew you were going to hit the like button.
I did now.
Okay.
Oh, did the.
Well, nonetheless, so wasn't around to hear how that went or see how that went, but the end result was I had $164 out of pocket for this campaign with 0 sales. Now, granted, I did point that campaign to specific my variation listings. I pointed them to, I think I had like 4 variation listings at the time. I really didn't want it to be spread out over my whole store, like 300 listings. I just wanted those 4 listings that had about 100 items within, all of them to really be the focus. And I got a lot of traffic. I got a lot of page views, but I didn't get any sales. So I determined that this is an unnecessary ad spend, even if eBay is subsidizing me by 75%, which is what they offered me back in October. And they stated that I'd get it up to $200, even though I did read that some accounts were getting it up to $500. But I still said, you know what? Let's do it. Up to $200. I managed it in such a way to where I wouldn't really exceed the $200 credit over for the end of the year. Like I think doing $5 minimum average daily balance. But even, spending $40 over the last month on a campaign that yielded me nothing was just not worth it to me. So I suspended the campaign. But what I noticed after I made the video that I share with you guys, that I didn't receive a single credit. So ideally, I was only paying $40 for that experiment, but it did cost me $164. And I did contact eBay on Friday morning as I was driving out to Arizona. I did call them. And I was on the phone with them for about a half an hour, and they looked into it and said, well, we see what you're talking about, see where you opted in, but we need to submit this and get approval. So I don't know what the heck's going to happen. They say 72 hours. I mean, I don't know if that's business hours because I haven't seen anything from them yet. So I might have to call this week and follow up if I don't get my credit. But $120 is $120, right? So I'm not, going to let that fly. So just be very careful. If you're taking offers from eBay, if you're accepting like these little opt-in things that eBay pops up every once in a while for offsite ads, for eBay priority, or any other type of promotion they're running, make sure you go into your seller hub and you're checking out the under payments under all transactions. And so when you click on the payments under all transactions, yeah, that's your sale. But if you look under all transactions, it should say, you're being charged for this fee, that promoted fee. So you can also even go to all types. You can go other fee, which is usually where it falls under. And then, so it's showing me promoted listings general, and then the priority fees and all that. And again, I have nothing positive to show for these priority fees. It's really sad. So the general fees, I'm making sales on those same items, but the impressions that they're giving me on the priority, I don't know if it's just wasted impressions, wasted page views. I don't know, but it just didn't work for me, and we're not doing it anymore. That experiment is over. So, lastly, well, I can talk about more stuff as we get through the show. I want to get to you guys. What happened?
Keith said our audio is a little crackly.
Crackly?
Is anybody else hearing the same thing?
Let's take a look. Let's see what it's telling me. Hold on. Audio default microphone. I don't know why it does this, to be honest with you. I'm going to make the change. How does that sound?
Testing.
Yeah.
1, 2,
you know
3.
what? Because see, what's happening is we have a webcam. It likes to default at the stupid webcam.
Everybody's saying yes, it's crackly.
Yeah. How about now?
Okay. Is it better now?
One for good.
After Cali Deb.
One for good, 2 for bad. 1 for 2, good for crackly. Hello. Now that I can't sing because you might think it's crackly, so that's not a good idea.
Now it sounds more acoustic.
Acoustic, yes.
Okay, we like acoustic.
Yeah, this thing has a mind of its own. It does it half the time.
Duncan said 6.
That's why I knew. That's why
an option.
No,
oh.
that means it's really bad. No, but I knew it was where to go
Uh-oh.
because it's done to this
Kelly
to me
Deb says
before.
worse again.
Worse again? Uh-oh. It's not us. Can't be us. No, can't be us. Echo cancellation, reduce mic background noise.
Do that.
Okay, how about this? Does that sound okay?
Okay.
How about this? Hello,
Start singing.
McFly.
Happy birthday
No, don't do
to
that.
you.
How did these dogs get out of their jail cell?
You didn't lock them up.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's something that you should help me with because I don't want these dogs getting yippity right now.
Well,
These dogs, they think that they're part of the show and they're really not. And people don't like it when we have the dogs out. They tend to bark and people don't like that. So hopefully we've got good. I sound like a robot, really? That's weird. Now I know I'm okay now. How about now? Well, guys, this is the best I got. I don't know what else I can do. I had it on the other one. Jenna sing the happy birthday song for a sound check. They're saying it's still bad. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea, guys. But the fact that you can hear me, good enough, right? So we're just gonna keep.
Says good enough.
We're just gonna keep going with it. We're just gonna flow with it.
Says sounds distant.
Distant. How about now? Does it sound better? Okay, we're going with it. So we'll get to some other discussions and things. I guess as you get older, you start realizing some things and you're thinking about your future, and I'll talk about that here in a little bit. So who do we have with us? Jovial says another year around the earth. Happy birthday week, John. Yes, well, thank you. Do I get to count this as my week?
Yes.
Do I get a week? Okay. Cool. What does that do for?
What do you want for your birthday?
I have no idea. I want to be here for my birthday. How about that? Okay. Shannon Greenlaw says, happy Monday, FA fam. So happy to see you. Have you thought about starting a private Facebook group for FA members only? Love to be able to ask questions and get everyone's advice. You know what? I am very, very bad with social media. I am really bad with social media. It's something that Archie and I actually talked about for a while. But who here would actually even care or be interested in a Facebook group? It's one of those things where I've been a part of Facebook groups and they're good places to get help, right? But you get a lot of bad actors.
Yes, I was going to say there are a lot of keyboard warriors who think it's okay to say whatever they want in a Facebook group, and it's very hard to manage. We'd have to have
ban people. That's all.
Moderators and all that.
So
it is a task.
We got enough help to do it. I guess we could do it.
I mean, we could, but I don't know.
Keith says, Pitco says, great big birthday wishes for John, and hello, Jenna, and the awesome FA family. Well, thank you very much.
Keith. Well, for everyone that doesn't know, John's birthday is on Turkey Day this year.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be the big turkey.
And if cooking a turkey wasn't enough, my son-in-law is like, I don't really care for turkey so much. So he's like,
and whatever the son-in-law asks for, he usually gets.
He's going to have to get. I don't want him to come out here and just not be happy. So we just picked up I've never seen it before. It's a New York strip roast. It looks a lot like the way they have it packaged, a lot like a prime rib. So I don't know really. I'm going to throw it in the smoker. We're just going to give it a go. But this might be the first one of these that I've ever made. So we'll see. Maybe get a nice little garlic crusting going on, and it'll be good. Susan says, hope everyone is doing well today. Great week for me. Off the entire week. Let's get some listings done. Yes. Great time. Even though, we maybe have 3 solid weeks-ish for Christmas sales. I got to tell you, I am looking forward to getting Q4 the hell over with. And it's really, you guys know my struggles with Q4, and there's a number of things. So on Saturday morning, I was out at Parker with the guys. We were hitting breakfast before we actually went to go play golf. And it's the only time I get reception is when we go through that town. So I'm in there looking at my phone, and I go on and I find a pallet. Like, wow, look at the $16,000 deal. And it's a lot of those espresso machines and really expensive ones. And it was at 2,300. And I'm like, okay, it's more than I want to pay, but if I can hit this for 2,500 plus their little buyer's fee or whatever.
And you were moaning about my $40 Amazon
because your Amazon doesn't make me money. So $2,500 plus fees will put me like 2,700 out the door. I go pick it up, and I've got either working machines or parts for like the next year. So I bid on it. I was a high bidder, and I got a notification like 20 minutes later. Sorry, pal, someone's out. And that was my line. I wasn't going to go any further than that. And the point is, not only, look, is it more expensive for me to buy product? It's actually, I got more competition. It's just harder to get it at my price point. I wasn't willing to go 20% MSRP on stuff that historically comes back as broken, doesn't work, parts of repair. Yeah, I do like to part those kind of things out, but those take time. And I'm starting to realize that time spent, it's sort of an investment. So what I mean is, I create, let's say, a listing that has 20, 30 items in it, right? From a parted out item. Okay, that takes a little while to put together. Variation listings are a pain in my ass. So I'll just put it that way. But it's worth the time spent, because if I get another one of those and I happen to have one that doesn't work and I need to part it out, then that item is pretty much just update the quantity, right? You're just going to take thing apart, take the parts that you need, update the quantity. You don't have to take photos. Everything's good. So long term, it's a good way, I think, to do items like what I'm getting. But I'm just putting a lot of time in the second store is kind of what's happening. And my sales in the main store, they're falling off. And it's not because I really don't have items to put on my main store. That's the key takeaway. I continually go to the storage unit, find an item that, this will sell pretty well on the main store. Get it home, it's missing something, or it doesn't work properly. And it's like, okay, well, I guess I have to sell this thing for parts or repair or something. And I don't sell parts or repair on the main account. I want to keep the integrity of the items I'm selling on the main account, keep it around 200 items. If I get it up to 300, great. But it's just that I'm not getting a lot of good results on the main. So, once we get past Q4, less competition, people kind of fall off. They realize, oh crap, I got 1099. I wasn't expecting to get 1099. A lot of people are going to fall off as sellers. And I think overall that's going to play in my favor. So we'll just see what happens. Josh Galt says, hello, John, Jenna, and everyone. Hopefully Arizona was a blast. Drive my son to a baseball, so I will have to catch up a little later. It's always fun to get out with the friends and play a little golf, and we played a little poker on Friday night after the golf, because you're at the cottage sitting there. We had nice barbecue, and it was just a nice time away. And of course, I was forced to be away from eBay because I couldn't see what was going on. Mm-hmm. Shannon says, I once had an item reported as counterfeit. eBay sent a message and removed it. I came across something I thought was listed, but isn't. I remember taking pictures. I'm afraid to relist it in case it was also taken down by eBay. Does eBay notify you of all items taken down reported as counterfeit? So if an item's reported as counterfeit, it's taken down, eBay will send you a message saying, little slap on the wrist, warning, you can't list this. And because you didn't know, we're just giving you a warning, don't list it again. So I would not list it again, but maybe throw that on Mercari or Poshmark if you're sure that it's legit. If it's like the Louis Vuitton purse that she picked up at the yard sale last year, no, we don't do that. So
by the way, that's my airport bag now.
Keith has a couple memberships that he's gifted. Keith. Well, thank you so much, Keith.
All right, Amazon Seller 99 and Axe Monkey.
Okay,
congratulations. We got another one. 3 picky peas.
Awesome.
That's so cool. Thank you,
3
Keith.
picky peas. That's the Profit Playbook podcast, right? Without us being picky. I'm pretty picky though when it comes to food and stuff. I don't know about Josh and Scott, but awesome. Thank you for the kindness. We put out members only content stuff that I don't think the masses will care about. Who cares about this guy, you know, working in his garage? But, you know, maybe you do. And we also do the lives, the members only lives, where we kind of dissect other stores and talk about each other's stores and maybe give each other, you know, some tips and stuff that we all see. And, you know, without being a member, you really can't be a part of it. So if you're not a member, go and click on your little thing down below to the right if you're on the mobile. Can't do it on you can't do it on the PC though, right?
You can't do it on, no, you can't do it on the phone.
Ah, well, I thought that's where we did it, on the phone. Okay, well, figure it out if you want to be a member.
Believe me, I had trouble when I was trying to re-up my thing for Primo Chemo, and I couldn't do it on the phone. Mike
Camparelli says, hi, John, Jen, and FA family. Happy birthday Thursday, John, and many more. Hope everyone is doing well. Sent out 15 orders today for $725. Nice. Q4 continues to be good for me.
That's awesome.
That's awesome to hear. I'd love to see that people are doing well in Q4. It confirms that, you know what, I could do better. I'm going to do better. I'm going to figure this thing out, but I want to figure out a plan for long term. So I guess I'll talk about it now. I was thinking about this earlier. I kind of talked to you about it a little earlier too, and I don't know if you were too busy to listen, but nonetheless, I'm looking at the fact that these items ain't getting any lighter. You know, going to be 51 here. I ain't getting any faster. My muscles aren't getting any stronger. You know, I am looking at, like, what does the future of reselling look like for me? Now, I know that the large items is our bread and butter, right? Making that work. And I will continue to buy the stuff that sells, you know, like Q1, 2, 3, because Q4 ain't working. But for me, it's about, how do I transition to the smaller stuff, right? And I'm looking at the success of the second store, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, we have 300 items listed over the last 90 days. We have like 250 sales, which is okay. I like to have more sales than items listed if I can over that 90-day period. So my mind is, okay, so even if I can't achieve that, if I can scale it. So if I can scale this store to be a 2,000, 3,000 item store. Now, this is something I've not really ever wanted to do before. But if I can scale this thing to 2,000 to 3,000 items, now I don't think the math plays like, okay, well, 300 items times 10, 3,000 items. So my 250 items sold in the same 90 days, that's 2,500 items. I'm not thinking that. I'm good enough, and I'm okay with 1,500 items. Instead, you know, I don't need to have 2,500 items, but if I can find a way to make 1,500 sales in a 3-month period with $10 to $25 items, and this is just on the second account. I'm not talking about the main. The main was always going to be about a 200 to 300 item store, making about $10,000 a month in sales at a 48% margin. So I can do those things, then I can really excel at this. And I got to tell you, I'm looking at, when I go out in the garage and I look at some of these items I have to test, and I have to, you know, clean, and I have to get presentable so I can take good photos. It's losing its luster for me. And
you don't have to get cleaned up.
What do you mean? My items do.
Yeah, but
so, you know, it loses its luster for me, and I find myself not being as fast. I'm not as motivated when I'm dealing with these things. But I'm looking at stuff now. It's like, hey, you know what? These things I can list on the second account. I'm actually more motivated to list the smaller things, and I think that's kind of what I've been missing. Now, you know, look, I'm not trying to turn my business into one that's not profitable. So if I get to a point where we're making less money, I'm just going to have to go back to what we're doing. But I think you have to be willing to assess where you're at, assess where your future is. If I was 25 years old and I was selling what I'm selling, I would be like gung-ho to like ramp up to maybe try to find a warehouse, a smaller office setting that's away from the house, maybe bring in an employer to grow this thing. Like some of these stores, you see like thousands upon thousands of listings, and they're selling thousands upon thousands of items in a 90-day period. They can afford a couple people to hire on overhead and still make this thing work. I don't have that. And so I've got to understand where my cap is, and I ain't 25 anymore. So I've got to put all these things into account. And what Grumpy John told me, you guys know Grumpy John from Beard's channel. And this is the one thing, one takeaway from anything he's ever told me. Find your good enough. Quit striving for things that are just too hard to achieve. Find what's good enough for your situation. And if it pays the bills, if it takes care of the things that you need or want from reselling, then, you know, at some point you have to be satisfied with that. And this whole idea of how do I grow to become like the size of Walmart is just ridiculous. So growth is not in my mindset. It's maintaining and making this thing work. So that's kind of where I'm at with reselling. And as the closer I get to my retirement pension, the stronger I'm going to feel about that. Because when I get 65, well, 67, there ain't no way I'm dealing with large items. And I need to have stuff that's going to be easy to be, you know, put into poly bags, small box, really easy to handle. And it's just kind of what I'm looking at right now. Mike says, hi, Rhonda, Keith, Susan, Shannon, and Josh. I'm sure he means to say hi to everyone.
Well, that's all that.
Yeah, this is like some talk, you guys. I love it. The fact you guys show up early and chat with each other is awesome. Mike says, too bad you got stuck paying 100% for the promoted listings priority. I know the only reason you did it was to test it out and report back to us. Appreciate that you're willing to pay the 25%, but 100%, that sucks. Well, here's the deal. They acknowledged that they saw me opt in for that. So they're going to have to work out something for me. And, you know, they said 72 hours. I will be calling probably tomorrow or Wednesday to say, hey, what's the deal? Montezuma says, I think when you opt into promoted listing priority, they give you the discount reimbursement at the end of the year promotion. Well, according to what I read, because I went on to ebay.export.com or export.ebay.com, and they have a little article on that. And it says that you'll see the adjustment as you accrue the charges, because the idea that they're going to just put that all in the seller at the beginning, it's misleading. Jovial says, I would dispute the charge with eBay, John. eBay charged me the full $100 for the free 100 promoted listing campaign. After calling twice, eBay eventually refunded 77 of the $100 worth a shot. No, it'll be a shot. I'll get the right person on the phone and we'll get that done. Henri Squad's with us, says, well, happy birthday, John. Hi, Jen in chat.
Hello.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. Nice to see you. Duncan says, packing among other orders on an order of 18 items to Florida. Suddenly, when I hit the 300 crickets turned up with poker cards in their testicles, I mean tentacles.
Wow.
Happy 98th birthday.
98. You look damn good for 98.
I know, that's right. I'm the new George Burns. Duncan VR says, did Jenny make you a chocolate golf ball cake?
No.
I don't think you've ever made me a cake.
I was thinking about making a dessert for Thanksgiving, but I am not a baker.
We don't do cakes well. When we first met, I was so proud of myself. I was going to make her dinner. I was going to make her a cake, right? And so I made this cake, and it looked like Gumby. Let's have that slanted top.
You couldn't even get it off the cutting,
it was
the board that he had it on. It had this, we had to eat it from there.
Yeah, it was just jacked. It was super moist, and that might be why. But Joe Samard says, howdy, y'all. Thanks for being here.
Howdy, Joe.
Jovial says, singing, this is your birthday song. It won't last very long. Hey. Okay. Keith says, I've been, we're talking to Mike. I've been okay, been slow, but again, I sell mostly parts, which is not popular this time of year, but I'm still doing some sales, so not at all bad. And I think that I'm in the same boat. But, the second account's pretty solid. We're looking at sales for the second account, the one I showed you the screenshot of. We are at sales for the last month is 3,500. Pretty good. Pretty good.
And that's the crap store.
That's the crap store. We sold 100 items in the last 30 days. We're on pace for about 300 sales for about 300 items in the store. Pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. Up 10% net sales, up 14.7% over the previous 30 days. So we're growing this thing. Larry Todd's with us. Thanks for being here. Samantha says, good evening, John and Jenna. Say what? Happy birthday, John. Hope you're healthy and continue happiness with your family, friends, and endeavors. Salute. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We will find out how healthy I am in about 2 months. We've got our medical kicked in. We had our meeting, and they're taking their first stipend from us in December. So that's going to be fun. Then we're going to get our.
It's better to have it than not.
Yeah. Let's see.
Especially at this age.
Andy says, what's going on, FA family from Not First? Yes. Well, nice to see you, Andy. Nice to see you.
We don't care if you're first or you're last, as long as you're here.
Pitco says, you weren't very interactive during the live on Friday. No. No.
Nope.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where I knew you weren't going to get that part of me. Hopefully you guys are able to follow. Jenna was like, there's just too much going on. There's too technical.
It's way too technical for me. I zoned. Literally, I didn't hear a word you said. I was just paying attention to the chat. And
now, one thing I realized from that priority promoted listings priority campaign, it set me up to have the smart campaign instead of the manual campaign. And so the smart campaign is where AI goes in and, okay, it knows the listings that you have in place. And then it's saying, okay, we're going to promote here. We're going to spend the money there. And you as a seller don't get to see what the AI is doing or what it's selected on your behalf. So what it used to be with promoted listings advanced, which is now priority, you used to have keywords that you put in and you bid on. And that's what you could do on the manual side. But from what I believe I understand is that when you're doing a smart campaign, AI is doing that for you. But eBay doesn't let you see what it's doing. It doesn't let you see what keywords it's trying to use. So it might be, it might have put like Nike in these listings, and it's like people are looking at my stuff. It's popping up impressions, and it's like, I ain't buying it because it ain't what it said it is. It could be screwed up. I mean, just to show, we all know there's glitches, right? So how did AI do for search when it first came out? I believe it's a little bit better now than it was, say, a year and a half ago, and before that. But if you're just introducing AI into something like a smart campaign, maybe they're offering this deal to some of us sellers as a way to get us to try it, and we're their guinea pigs to get AI kind of some practice and to learn from our transactions. And maybe that's why it wasn't so successful. If I did it again, they came back and said, look, we're going to be 100%, just try it again, for the next month or 60 days, 90 days. I would do it, but I would do it manually. I would set my own keywords and my own budget per word and all that stuff. So look, I just think AI was partially involved in this, and that's probably why it didn't work. Amazon seller says, hey guys, thanks for being here. Julie Henley says, hi, happy Monday to FA family. Missed y'all. Well, we missed you. Are we going to do anything on Friday? Who here wants to, because look, that doesn't make it any deal to me. I don't care. I mean, we're going to have family over, but we could still do the live on Friday at the same time. But how many people are going to be out of town or not able to be a part of it? Because we get a lot of you guys that normally show up and, you're not going to be here. It's like, is it even worth doing? Duncan says, John used hair color to cover the silver top. No. I was thinking about it, though. I have been thinking about it.
No.
Yeah, I got the Grecian, get that going on,
No.
like get it. You guys would be like, who the hell is this guy?
You are my sexy silver fox. I'm not trying to.
Well, you didn't meet me this way.
No.
Marilyn,
I like who you've grown into.
Marilyn Wilson says, hi from Arkansas.
Hello,
thanks for being here, Marilyn.
Puppy.
Paul says, evening, John, Jen, and chat.
Paul.
Nice to see you, Paul. Let's see. Jovial says, Silver Fox. They used to call me that at Amtrak when I was doing a new hire class. Pitco says, why does my screen say live in 80 minutes when they normally stream at 2300 my time? I don't know. Maybe
there's glitches going all over the internet right now.
So speaking of glitches on the stream, I've got literally like not even a week, oh my God, to figure this whole thing out. Because with StreamYard is what I currently use, and their prices have gone up like double. And I have not done anything to get myself ready to try to figure out another platform. So the next live you see, well, next week, you'll see maybe something that looks a little different. Well, we'll keep you guys posted. Gail Carlson says, hello, John, Jenna, and FA family.
Hello, Gail.
Well, how are you doing, Gail?
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, nice to see you. And there you go. Larry Todd, I left town and Paul Rose got all my sales. Rhiannon says, hey, lovely J&J and FA fam, happy turkey week.
Happy Turkey Week.
So I decided to cheat this year on the turkey. We're going to do a turkey, but because I'm doing this prime rib, no, not prime rib, it's the New York strip roast thingy that I'm going to do. I went and bought like this Genio, like the breasts, and forget the rest of the bird. We're just going to put that thing in the smoker, you know, maybe brine it with some brine that I bought and call it a day.
And I mean, mostly the reason why is because we don't have all of our kids coming this year.
Yeah.
We only have our daughter and her husband, and then the 3 girls. So they all like white turkey meat. So there was no need to have the whole bird.
Yeah.
So
it's easier, and it's
easier
because, you know, no carving.
Because we'll be having obviously all the other side dishes to go along with it.
Ping G says, happy Monday, John and Jenna and the chat.
Hello,
thank you, Ping, for being here. Got Kevin. He's in hiding in an undisclosed location, but he says, good evening. Well, thank you, sir, for being here. Jerry Johnson says, hi, everyone. Finally made it to the live.
Hello, Jerry.
Nice to see you, Jerry. Keith says, oh, there you are. Some reason. Wait, there you are. Some reason video stream didn't start. Okay. I don't know what that meant, but nonetheless, Mike says, good evening. Sales back to normal after ending ad campaigns late Saturday. Never, ever again.
Yeah.
So that's the strangest thing, because I'm looking at our sales. So sales weren't only wonky for the main account, right? On Wednesday and Thursday, we had 0 sales on the secondary account. On Friday, we had a $25 sale. So for 3 days, we had $25 in sales on the second account. And it really wasn't until, I don't know, I mean, we got back Saturday night.
Really strange. But see, you don't have my eBay store on your phone.
No, I don't. But I wasn't gone until Friday. So it was like, what happened there? Why did we get 0 sales?
I don't know. It's almost like it's acting like the main store.
So is there a correlation between, okay, so the thought was initially, it doesn't matter if you have 1 store or 5 stores. eBay's looking at all the stores as the same account, and therefore, you know, it's going to treat your account the same as far as like the number of sales and that you get amongst all accounts. Is there something to that? So is my idea of maybe trying to grow the second store, you know, 10x eventually, right, to like 3,000 listings, am I going to be limited by the number of items that eBay believes that they think I can handle? So even if I was to overnight, you know, find a way to get this store up to 3,000 items, am I going to see, even if it's, you know, there isn't a correlation, I don't think, between 10xing the number of items in your store and the number of sales. It's unrealistic to think that I'm going to get 10x in sales, but can I get 3x, 4x? Is eBay going to allow that to happen? That's the thought that I have. Yeah. Glenda says, good evening, everybody. Hope all have a happy Thanksgiving day. Well, thank you. And you too. Glenda. Mike Seller says, happy Monday, John, Jenna, and FA. Thank you for being here, Mike. And Ranger, nice to see you. Mm-hmm. Jimmy D says, I don't care what any of y'all say, eBay dead. $10 sale over Saturday and Sunday. Well, I was right there with you on my main account. I had like $80-something in sales for 2 days. That's no good. Larry Todd, yep, Paul, the check is in the mail. And we got Spam Banshee. Primo's there too. So nice to see you guys. Paul Rose says, aloha, Spam. Biff Boffo says, every time I go to the coast where there is no service, I get no sales the next day. This happened 2 out of 2 times this year. I have 40,000 items, so the sales drop is noticeably obvious.
Yeah, it's just too coinky dinky.
Why is that? Do you think that maybe they're afraid that these guys are going to be too tired or just not with it? They're going to put eBay on the back burner when they get back, because a lot of times you go on vacation or you're away from home, you need like a day to kind of recover. I don't know. Maybe there's nothing to it, but it's happened more often than not for me. Larry Way Out. Nice to see you, Larry. He says, happy Monday, John Jennen. How was poker? Poker we played a 1-1 game it was really sad.
Nothing like
5-6
what
handed.
It will be when he goes to the actual trip.
Yes.
This was just a excuse to go play golf.
We had a good conversation. We had a good 2-hour conversation. We're working out some things that we do at the club. We have a poker club, not a poker club, but a golf tournament club. And we get about 90 players out there every year. And we try to do different things every year, to kind of keep it, interesting. And we had a lot of things we had to sort out, and we worked a lot of things out. So Duncan says, no sales. Did the ad campaign actually hurt your store? It initially did not. I mean, we're still up 14.7% despite 2 days with no sales. We had this thing going for a solid month. So that's 14.7 increase over that period of time. But those listings didn't benefit at all from those. And we're talking like 100 items and 4 listings. So I paused the campaign. I didn't end it yet. I'm pretty much going to, I think at some point, going to just end it. Things are fine now.
I thought you said you did it.
I paused it. I paused it because I wanted to, I was hoping that the rep would say, look, I'm going to look at it. By the way, this is why you didn't get sales, because you forgot to click here or do this thing or set this option, holding out hope that it maybe was something on my end. But of course, I should have known. These reps don't really know that much about eBay. Heavy Chevy guy watching from Arizona just found this channel and loving the tips. Well, awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for watching from AZ.
Yeah. Don't be a stranger. We do this live every Monday and Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific, which is where you're at, 6 p.m. Eastern. And we do it for about an hour or two. We have a good community. Arizona.
I know.
What do you think he was at? I said 3 o'clock is where you're at.
That's 3 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock.
Oh, it is 4 o'clock. I was just down in Arizona. I should remember. That was a frustrating thing. We were actually across the river in California. So it would be like 6 o'clock in the morning, but it was really 7 in Arizona. So we had to remember that it was where we were playing golf was 7. So we had to get up an hour earlier than we normally would. And then we get over to the Arizona side and it was 7. And it was just confusing the whole time. This time of year is just really confusing with the time change. Biff Buffalo says, had a buyer demand a shipping discount after the purchase, canceled the order. The buyer left me an all cap negative feedback and called me a lowlife.
Wow.
Had it removed in maybe 3 minutes. Yeah, they can't do that. They can't call you any kind of disparaging remarks or anything like that. And the buyer can't ask for something that's not part of the sale.
Exactly.
So they buy something at that price point and it shows them the price. They continue to pay for it. Then that means that they agree to the terms of the sale. They can't come back and, say you're at fault for that. They have a choice. They can either buy it or walk away.
I mean, you don't go to the store and then after you're done buying all your groceries, you're like, hey man, I didn't get paid much this week. Do you think you could take off $50?
Yeah.
Come on.
Mike Gertis says, John, I complained Saturday night through chat. Rep refunded me 100% on the spot. Took about 5 minutes or so. Refunded was close to 200. Was so pissed and blasted them my numbers, which they cannot dispute. Yeah, it's all in the report. The report will tell you, what's going on. Now, kind of thinking about bad buyers, and so the last comment was talking about the buyer left a negative. I had this buyer just like before I went on Friday, they said, hey, looking at this item. It's like a $29.99 item that I had plus shipping. It was a trim kit for like a shower, like your handle set and all that. Normally MSRP is like $100, but I had it for like $30. I've had it in my store for a while, just trying to get rid of it, get it out of here. And someone said, look, I will do $25 shipped. Well, no, I don't do free shipping. In fact, kind of caused a problem because you can't just go in and say, okay, free shipping now when you have calculated, especially when you have other like offers out on it. It's locking everything. So I said, look, I'll take 20 plus shipping. So it'll be a little more than 25, but I'll do 20 plus shipping. And they said, okay, but we're not ready to do it. I have to check some measurements or something. So Saturday, I said, well, I'm not gonna be here Saturday. Sunday is when I'll be back, and I'll be glad to, set it up then. So they contacted me Sunday morning and said, John, are you back yet? Looking to buy this. So I said, okay, here's the way to do it. Because it shows locked, won't let me change anything on this listing. I'll have you buy it, pay for the full price. I'll adjust it after you pay so that it comes out to be $20 plus shipping. No, I'd rather pay for it outright. So I said, well, that means I'm going to have to go in and end the listing, and I'm going to have to relist it. Now, keep in mind, my thought was, okay, I relisted at 20, and then they don't buy it right away. My coupon's going to kick in, and my markdown sale is going to kick in, knocking this thing to like $15. So I'm like, well, okay, but you got to do it right away. So I went in and I set it up for $22.22. It was going to take out my 10% coupon. I knew that right away. It would be $20. I said, just use the coupon code. It'll be 20. And then he came back and said, okay, well, I'm in the middle of something. As soon as I'm done, I'll buy it. So that night came, and it's like they didn't buy it. Like, what the hell's going on? These guys are harping on me left and right. And so the next morning, still no sale this morning. And I sent him a message. Look, I went back and I recreated the listing, but I set it at the full price. If you're interested, let me know. We'll work something out, but I can't wait anymore. And they sent me a message saying, oh, well, I tried the new number that you gave me. It didn't come up. So I just bought from someone else. I'm like, you couldn't, all this communication back and forth. You couldn't like communicate, hey, there's something wrong here. We would have worked it out. You would have found my item. I would have helped you do that. But it's like, you had me go through all this. And it's like, I was kind of irritated. It wasn't the price of the sale that was the problem. It was just the amount of effort and time and that you put in to try to give good customer service and to facilitate a sale. And this person who's also a seller couldn't give me.
It doesn't, just because they're selling 5 items doesn't mean they're a seller. No,
but they need to understand. Well, maybe they haven't dealt with a difficult buyer yet. But maybe it's like if these
buyers have been listed for like 19 years.
Well, if these buyers are as difficult as you're gonna understand where I'm coming from. And so I blocked the guy. I said, he said to me, well, if it doesn't work out, I'll buy from you. I'm like,
no, we're not going to be an option.
Well, it's like I've made that so that can't happen. I told him so. That was kind of frustrating. Nick Rinaldi says, I'm not a promoted listings hater. I know eBay will do what's best for their business. I do not blame them, but priority seems like a promotion to promote your promoted listing, just a bad look. Mm-hmm. It's just a way to your promoted standard, right? So it's a way to be up here. Like, so everyone that doesn't promote is kind of down here. You have a good item, it'll be found kind of thing. But then competition, you're promoting. And then if you want that extra boost, but I would never have done it if they didn't say, hey, give it a try. Now, if I would have tried this thing out and the sales would have went through the roof, I'd have been like, I'm willing to pay 100% of that, right? We're talking, what, 160, 180, $200 a month for, let's say I had 6,000 in sales instead of 3,000. That would be interesting to me. It would be worth it. I think a lot of people, they lose sight that using promoted listings, just standard, really can help them get that kind of a boost as compared to not promoting at all. I think there's a lot of people who just don't realize that yet. You got to get in there and do it and see the numbers and see if it works for you or not. So I was willing to try that to see if that was going to give me that kind of a boost, and it didn't do anything for me. So maybe it's what I'm selling, but it was pretty disappointing. Let's see. We've got a lot of people talking about the snap, crackle, and pop, so we'll get past that. Hopefully. TikTok says you're 39 and holding. LOL. Yes, that's exactly my answer. Montezuma says we want the dogs. Bring in the dogs.
They're
sketches.
They're not your typical dogs. They don't. Well, one of them does, but
neither of them like being held.
They don't like being held. They're not. They'll snuggle, but it has to be on their own terms.
Yeah, they don't like being held, and they'll kind of hang out with you on their own terms. And
now, if we had treats or food,
yeah, then they're like,
then they're all in our face.
They are your best friend.
Yeah.
Pitco says sound is better now. Still crackle. Okay. Hopefully it's better now. Samantha Hunter says, question, are we as resellers still using priority boxes, and are we doing one service right now for Q4 holiday season? Thanks. It's all dependent on your situation. I have not sent out a priority package aside from Poshmark, because they still do priority labels,
which is stupid.
Yeah, it really is. They really should consider moving everything to Ground Advantage and saving their buyers some money. For us, it's still FedEx for the largest packages and Ground Advantage, and that's kind of what we're doing. If you have priority mail boxes, I wouldn't be using them for Ground Advantage. So do not flip them inside out or anything crazy, and we're going to be okay. Paul Rose says, only have Facebook for birthday reminders and already have about 50 notifications a day. Annoying.
Yeah. I'm not big on Facebook either. I go on there to check on my family, and that's it.
So look, I'll look at Facebook one day. I'll kind of go and peruse through there, and then maybe I'll look at Instagram like 2 days later, and I'm just not into. That's a lot of time. If you're spending that kind of time in your social media, it's time you're not spending in your business. Garden Resale Thrift says happy birthday. Well, thank you, appreciate that. Mike Camberley, the members live is our Facebook group. Yeah, you can say that, but I understand where Shannon's coming from, in that, a place where you can go that you can ask a question and someone will eventually see it and answer, right?
Yeah.
Instead of waiting for our lives on a Monday and Friday to ask your question. And really, it's good material. If you have someone that poses a situation that's worth talking about, then, we can bring it on the channel and talk about it further. So it's something I will consider. But to be honest with you, I would need like 3 or 4 people that would want to just help moderate the group, because it would get out of hand with people that join and have bad intentions.
Yeah.
Garden Resell says happy birthday, Icon. Well, thank you. Jimmy D says happy 18th birthday, John. Sounds like a good reason for a round or two of golf.
I know, you really should probably go take Tommy golfing.
That would be fun.
Friday.
Well, have him bring his clubs. We'll go play. Golf for me, I went out to the river looking to just kick the crap out of my buddy. We have this rivalry we've had for many, many years. We play competitively. We play $5 a hole, $10 birdies, $25 eagles, $20 overall score. And yeah, we do that. And I was up on him 4 holes to none at the beginning. And I wasn't playing all that great, but I was still kicking his butt. And then all of a sudden, my driver just went in the toilet, and I had to pay him $60 after that round. It was not good. So, yeah, didn't bring my A game with me.
Hey, you shared a birthday with Ruben.
What?
Well,
we share a birthday. Well, happy
Ruben.
birthday. So you know the struggle. Every 7 years, it's like we get overshadowed by Thanksgiving, right?
Well, so it's every other year. Megan, so my sister Megan is her birthday is November 23rd, and her birthday is every other year, and yours is every other year.
For what?
On Thanksgiving.
No, it's every 7 years. I've been living this life all my life. I know how it works. It's pretty much every 7 years. Am I right, Ruben? Thanksgiving for us on our birthday is only like every 7 years. It's not every other year. Promise you.
No.
Promise you.
I don't know.
Promise that. Let's see. Nick is a proud turkey hater. American Legend says, an amazing birthday. Thank you. I appreciate that. Larry says, any meat in a smoker is good. Most meat in a smoker is good.
Most meat.
Couldn't put liver in a smoker.
Oh,
I don't think that
God.
would turn out very good.
I wouldn't even allow you to buy.
Jerry says, last week was my birthday and got taken out to eat at least 3 different times.
Happy birthday, Jerry.
How many people sign up for the free birthday food and get the emails? Yeah, you're like Benihana.
Like, wait, I got this
Benihana, they send you
this free.
They send you the $30 off free.
Have you gotten it?
I don't. Well, you're worried about it now, aren't you?
Well, that's the only one I care about.
So you get like a free meal for the most part. Donna says we are having a vegan holiday.
Oh man, that's
I'm sorry. I couldn't imagine Thanksgiving with only stuffing and dressing and
never survive.
Heck, I couldn't even have my green beans because they have bacon in it.
Yep.
TikTok says given up on 2024. We'll wait for the new tax laws to kick in. So you saw well, maybe you didn't see the video that Casey Rockstar Flipper put out about a week ago. I was talking about how eBay still has $600, which is what I reported. It was about a month ago or so. What I reported to you guys, because it's still written on eBay's site, whereas there's people pointing to like articles saying it's 5,000. So I'm still confused as to what it is. But according to him, eBay is going by the law. So what's going to happen? Is eBay going to give everyone that sells over $600? And you know what? It doesn't really matter what the law is. If eBay reports it to the IRS through a 1099, that's what the IRS is expecting you to report. Mm-hmm. If you report nothing because you're under 5,000, thinking that 5,000 is the number, well, it doesn't matter what you think or what you thought. Even if they did it erroneously and they reported it to the IRS now knows you made that much money and you should have been reporting it anyway, regardless of any kind of threshold. And they are going to expect you to report that. And they may say, look, because I've seen that happen. It's happened to us where we had a 1099 out there that we didn't know existed or we forgot. And they called us on it for the tune of we owed $3,500 because of it. And that was like nuts. So they will call you on it. Garden Resell Thrift says, I want to make roast beef stew. What type of roast do you all pick up? Something like that. Roast beef stew. Chuck. Maybe chuck or even they'll sell you like the stew meat. Like you go to like Costco or Sam's, they have it all cut up into like cubes. You could try that. Paul Rose says, John, you're a fellow Scorpio. Mine was on the 7th. Nope. My dad's birthday is on the 7th.
Mm-hmm. Happy birthday, Paul.
You share the same birthday as my dad. Yeah. And my high school best friend, he's on the 5th. So those are Scorpios. And we are Sagittariuses. Anything beyond the 21st of the month changes over. But I don't really care about the signs. I don't even know how many people really believe that, if you're born between the 22nd of a month to like the following month, you fall into this category of people who act and behave a certain way. Because that's kind of what that is, right? It's saying, oh, you're born this month. So you have, your moon's in the 12th house of, 12th house of cards. And you're going to act this way and you love, whatever, and you hate this. I never fall for that.
But you need to go here.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know why it's not showing.
We got Ruben says, yes, you're right. Well, thank you, Ruben. Appreciate you. I like being right. And I like being paid to be right. That's great.
No, you did not have to do that.
You did not have to do that. It's totally nice of you and too generous. But thank you so much, Ruben. I appreciate you, man. Who's that? That's Kelly. My daughter calling. Don't these people know that I do lives?
Obviously.
I guess not. I'm going to have to scold her when I call her. And it's like, look. But thank you, Ruben. I appreciate that. I'm trying to get back to where I was at here. We got people giving up on 2024. Jovia says, my uncle used to say, add another quart of water to the soup. We have company heading our way. Oh, no. Bama says 13th for me, January. Happy Thanksgiving. Well, that's her birthday.
John. The 13th for
John.
me, John.
Oh, I thought you said January. My eyes aren't great because I'm getting older.
Yeah.
13th of November.
Well,
So
happy birthday.
well, happy birthday. Belated birthday. Yes, I agree. Vegan is not healthy short term either, as far as I'm concerned, but I'm just not. That's, I didn't get this way from being a vegan. Biff says Chuck for stew.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mike says, hi, Josh. Cooking this week? Stupid question. LOL.
Josh, of all people, he's a cooker.
Yes.
Yeah, he posts on his Facebook all the things that he cooks, and they're.
Go ahead. I'm waiting.
You were just.
I'm in queue.
So
I'm not going to forget
You're
like you
in
do.
Queue.
Yes.
Okay, I lost it.
See, I knew it. It's like one thought. She's going to forget.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of excited to cook for Thanksgiving because I've got new cookware coming.
Yes.
So
and he didn't go with either one.
I didn't go with All Clad because I don't want to spend that kind of money. And they have deals and all that, but I didn't want to spend that kind of money. Hex Clad, I was going to shell out close to $900 for all that I wanted.
The same as the
no, it was about $1,200 for the same for the same set or similar set. It'd be over $1,200. Didn't want to do that, so I did some reading. There's a number of companies out there that have really good cookware, and the name of the cookware escapes me at this point. Starts with a T, but they make theirs in Brazil, and it's really like they have nothing but great reviews on Amazon. And I'm like, okay, for $300, I can get like a good set of what is it? What is it? Stainless steel. And really be happy with it. So we have that coming tomorrow.
The only reason we're getting the stainless steel is because Jovial has promised that they're easy to clean.
Well, you can use anything to clean them. You can't
barkeeper's friend is what she said. You
can like the Hex Clad. I was like thinking, oh, those are cool. I would, love to have a set, but almost every other person I saw that was reviewing them were saying, hey, these are going to go out.
Tramontina.
It's Tramontina is the name of the brand, and it's some really nice looking stuff. Let's see, let's show. That's what we're gonna have. Some new cookware. We got some new knives, and so we got some Henkel knives, so we're pretty happy with that too. So Henkel. Axe Monkey says, "Sweet, thanks. Yes, thanks for being a member. Awesome that. And you're only. I think the way they do it when you give gift memberships like this." eBay, or not eBay, but YouTube looks at your activity, whether you participate in the chat or just watch after the fact, and then award you with a membership based on that. So it's because of your activity and because someone was nice enough to do it, you are now a member. Head to toe theatrical. Just say no to crackle. No to crackle. I agree. Amazon Seller 99. Wow, thank you. I just opted in last week because why not? Definitely not expected, but appreciated. Thank you again.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Zach says, Zach Batango, hey, new here. What are we talking about tonight? Well, Zach, first of all, thanks for being here.
And a little of that.
And don't be a stranger. We do this Mondays and Fridays, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern for a couple hours. And we have a really good group of folks that want to be here and chat and talk reselling. Now we're talking, as the heading says, whenever eBay offers you a promoted listing deal, like, oh, check out this new promoted listing X, Y, and Z program we have, and we're going to give you X dollars off of your first X amount spent. Well, be very careful, because in my case, it's not like they have a place in the campaign saying, oh, by the way, here's what you saved by opting in, and this is what we're paying, this is what you're paying. There's nothing there. I would have been more patient if it had. There's no mention at all that I even opted in. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, crap, I didn't take a screenshot of this. So if they come back and say, well, you didn't opt in when I know I did, I'm going to be feeling like, well, I have no recourse, really, right? My word against theirs. But just be very careful. We have something happening here. Hold on. Something's happening here. Keith says, hey, look, John, Jenna, Mike, Beard, Josh, and all you in chat here. I may not have met you in person, but you're all considered as much family as I do.
Aww.
My real family. That's making you my extended family.
Oh, we love you, Keith.
Oh,
Thank
Keith,
you so
that's
much.
awesome. Thanks. So that means we're in your will.
With
I
the will.
appreciate that.
That doesn't always mean you're in a will. Let me tell you.
So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, that's awesome. You guys are just great, really. I mean, look, I wish
I'm so glad you came back, Keith.
Yeah.
Because you took a little hiatus there.
We lost a lot of people in the chat. I wish I had one to pour out for the homies. We just don't, like we had, I guess Tommy Bernard dropped off the face of the earth. We have what was that? What is his name? I can't forget his name. Ken, but I forgot his name, what he went by.
No One
Design. He's not here. Jovial almost left us, but
Jovial came back.
Yeah, she came back.
She's a real one.
So it's like, you have people that come and go, but there's a number, like Mike, he's been here from day one. Keith has been here pretty much from day one, I think, right?
Yeah.
Archie
close to it,
Archie pops in whenever he feels like it. It's like, all right,
Archie,
whatever.
He's just down the road.
But thank you. I appreciate that. I feel the same way. You guys are awesome, and it's cool. I just can't tell you how cool it is when we're about to start a live and we see that you guys have been in here for like an hour waiting, and it's just like
chatting it up.
It's like, I'm just some guy who sells stuff in my garage. I'm nothing special. This show is really more about you guys Ricky, than it is about anyone else. Too. Picky Ricky, we got. There's a list of people that were here from the beginning. I'm going to do? I'm going to go back and watch some of the first ones. I'm going to see who we had in the chat.
I don't want to do that.
Why? I want to see how far we've come. We have Integrity Sales says, click the like, and the very second my finger came off the screen, I got a sale. It works, guys. You get a sale within the next 24 hours. You got to do this right. Hold on. This thing is frozen for some reason. What's going on? You broke it.
I didn't.
You broke it.
I haven't even done.
You broke it.
It's flashing.
No, it's not working. You broke my stuff.
I didn't break anything.
Okay. Well, we'll get there. See, here we go. You had broke it.
I did not break it.
So we'll clap. We'll give him a clap. And just for Duncan out there, you can do it. There we go. Paul Rose says, John, I just turned 54. It slides rapidly after 50. LOL. God. Well, yeah, it does. It like the last 3 weeks, I would just bend my right knee. I bend it and I feel this tearing sensation in my knee. I don't know where it comes from. I don't feel any kind of pain when I'm walking around. So I don't know. Things are falling apart over here.
Do it.
Coppercast says, happy early birthday. Well, thank you so much. Amazon seller says, volume selling is a challenge sometimes. We use FBA to help leverage the orders, but even the 30% we sell directly ourselves, it's a lot of packing and shipping. Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah, it is.
That's on her.
I don't mind shipping. I don't. Now, it does, I'm not as old as he is, but I have a lot more ailments due to past trauma within my body. So I have a lot of things that are going on that don't allow me to do that. So, but I would much rather do shipping than listing. That's for damn sure.
Well, I'm cool with listing. Midwest Picker says, smash the like. Hope y'all are doing well. We're doing great. Hey. The day has become better now that you guys are here. Yes. Homeless Flipper says, hey, John and Jenna, wishing you guys the best. Holidays could be tough, but you guys got this. Yes, holidays can be tough, but you know what? Oh, an update. Mom is home. And I have to tell you, my mom is a rough around the edges woman. And I had a conversation with my sister on Saturday because it was her birthday. But we were just chatting, and we both don't know what happened during this, unfortunate incident with, the lupus flare up and all that. But it has really changed my mom's mind. And when I don't mean, like opinions or things like that, but she not once said anything negative. She was very optimistic and positive during the entire
2.5 weeks that she was in this rehab facility in the hospital. And so I am really looking forward to seeing her at Christmas time. And she's home today. Her spirits are so high. It makes me want to cry because I don't know who this person is, but I want them to stay around. You know what I mean?
Peter Kornichuk says, what would you recommend if a buyer messages over the weekend, then leaves negative feedback less than a business day later, asking for a revision, and they do not waste of time and bad for rating? So not a whole lot you can do, really. You can dispute it through the eBay negative feedback removal tool and try to point to something that they may have said within the feedback that is eligible to be removed. Like maybe they called you a name, maybe they said something about, didn't like the price or whatever, that type of thing. Then you can use that as, okay, you can't ask for this after the fact. You agreed to the price and you can't come back and leave negative. So just, it's worth a shot. Maybe you get someone hit the wrong button and delete it. So definitely do that. But if you're doing nothing else, leave a professional reply so that the person who's looking at it, considering whether they want to do business with you, and there's people out there who do that, like myself, then you'll keep their good graces with a good professional reply. Bama says, hey, Mike just got back from the grocery store, getting ready to throw down.
What are you making tonight?
What are you making? Duncan says, glad I sell ephemera and all small, no lifting, heavy junk.
Yeah, I mean, we could only wish, but we don't have a source for that kind of stuff here. There's no ephemera in Vegas.
Yeah. Paul Rose says the ideal for me would be paper ephemera, quick and easy to process and pack. But I think the days of that paying the bills are gone now. Yeah. Maybe right now, right? So how is the economy going to look in a couple years? So, I think we can all agree since COVID, it's been kind of downhill, right? And I got to catch myself. Someone got mad at me in PPP for finishing every other sentence with right. So maybe I shouldn't say that.
That's funny that somebody mentioned it because I thought about that when I was watching it. And I'm like, dude, right? He never says that. Like, why is he starting that?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just start saying wrong at the end of every sentence. Donna Herlinger says, do you recommend doing promotions and sales? Yes. Make sure that. So let's say you buy an item and look, it's been going for like $50 or $60. So what you don't want to do is start your item off at $50 or $60 when you have these promotions, because the promotion is going to kick it down. Let's say you have a 10% markdown sale, and then your coupon is going to kick it down another 5, 10, 15, 20%, whatever you have it set up as. So the strategy, I think, that I would utilize every discount that eBay or different tool that eBay gives you to discount your items, but start that item off at like $75. Have a 10% markdown sale, and then have a 10% coupon. So that 10% markdown sale is going to take that item down by $7.50 if you have it at $75. So it's going to be at $67.50. And then that coupon is going to knock it down to just around 70. Just around 60 with your 15% would knock it down a little under 60, right within what the item's been selling for. That to me is what's worked for us. And I think that compared to someone who just lists their item at $65, calls it a day without using those tools, I think are not getting all the benefits they can. There's been too many times where I have forgotten to re-up a markdown sale and my sales have just fallen until I reinstate the markdown sale. Set that up. I usually set them up in 6 months, so 6-month increments for every 2 weeks. And that works well for us. I got to get back there and do that. Mike says, Josh, what time should I show up on Thursday?
Oh, I wish you could be here with us.
No, he's not asking to be here. He's asking to be over at Josh's house.
I know, but I would like him here.
Yes. We invited Primo and Spam.
Yeah, that would be fun.
We invited them, and
can you imagine?
They were looking at like airfare and everything, and they never got back to me on that. So I don't know if they're going to be here. Mike, I mean, he
have
just
to buy a whole bird.
No, we'd make do. I think we'd make do. I don't think Spam eats meat anyway. She's a vegetarian, so I don't know. Maybe she just watches eat.
Maybe she wants mashed potatoes.
Flipping from the trailer says, "Hi, John and Jenna. How are you?
Hello, hello.
Awesome. Nice to see you." Donna says, "Together or one over the other?" Oh, both together. Markdown sale and coupon. I just think it's a potent. See, here's the thing. Markdown sale. I really think there's something to it, like a 10% markdown sale, and then. Okay, so your items come up in search, right? So the buyer sees that it's on sale, but they also see when they click on the item, take a look, it's say $75, but if you apply the coupon, you can get it for $67, right? So now that just may be what puts them over the edge to say, not only is this what I was looking for, the price is right, I'm taking it, right? So it's going to help your conversion rate by anything you can put in that listing when that buyer clicks into the listing to compel them to making the sale, then that's a benefit to you. Samantha says, John, great observation about what you need to do for yourself and business as you're more through life. Continue success, my friend. Try what makes you and your family good. Yes, well, thank you. And it's a transition. I feel myself changing, right? Kind of, and I don't want to say changing back to what I used to do because that didn't work well. I mean, that was the sales were okay, but we had one main account where we just listed anything and everything we could find, and a lot of the stuff we were finding in these liquidation pallets were, $10 to $30 items. They weren't great items, but we're trying to make those things work. I think it's about being more selective, finding things with good sell-through rate, and not settling for whatever the hell pops up in this mystery palette. No more of those mystery palettes for me, by the way. I know Archie likes them because you can find a good surprise in there every once in a while. But if I want to play the lottery, I'll just go.
Are too few and far.
I mean, if I wanted that, I'll just go to the casino and play slot machines. American Legend says my last sale went through without a hitch, but the promoted listing took about $10 for my profits, which really sucks. It does, but the alternative is eBay put your item on the back burner. You're still sitting on that item. You don't have anything from that sale, and you're still waiting for it to sell. Let me ask you guys a question. Who here sources on eBay to resell? So if you're like maybe buying something that, someone's undervalued, or that you have a way of taking that item and maybe 5-6xing what you spent on that item. Want to know if you guys do that, because I'm looking at some things. Keith says, John, of course, we show up early and chat to each other. We're all family here, right? Plus, we can get a word in edgewise when you start on a rant. Well, good observation. I appreciate that. I mean, look, if I was quiet, look, I could be quiet right now. I could be quiet right now, and Keith ain't speaking. So I don't think the people who are watching after the fact are going to be cool with me being quiet to hopefully maybe hear your voice, because that ain't going to happen. American Legend says 9 and change is BS. Simple fix, charge higher prices, and don't allow lowball offers. We have to make money on the sale, or what good is it? The problem with lowball offers, this is the reason why they happen, because there's sellers out there who will take them, and people do what works for them. People find out, hey, I can go onto eBay, offer half of what this guy is asking for, and 15 to 20% of the time they're going to take it. Well, then they're going to keep doing it. If less than 5% of the time that happened, you'd have people that would just be like, okay, this ain't working anymore. I'm not going to be lowballer. From the trailer says, happy birthday, John. Thank you so much. Jimmy D says 2 neutral feedbacks this week. Buyers claim shoe sizes were too small from the size as listed, claiming defective to not have to pay return shipping. Did the request to remove feedback. Wow. And the thing that sucks about that is eBay is now taking the ability away from you to retain the original shipping. When they send you back, they claim INAD, they send it back, and it turns out there's nothing wrong with these shoes, or there's nothing wrong with this item. They lied. You can't retain the original shipping anymore. Mm-hmm. And if you decide to go in and give them half of their money back, well, eBay's not giving your fees back either on the sale. So let's say you've promoted and you're into those fees for 20 something percent. It makes no sense to use anything less than 50%, because you might as well just give them a full refund. Amazon seller says, just mentioning George Burns ages you. LOL.
Yeah,
But
for
for those of you guys who knew George Burns, he like didn't really. He was like old as like dirt, and he never like really aged. He just didn't.
I
He
don't
smoked
remember
cigars
what
and all
he
that.
looks like.
He played God. I know that.
What?
He played God, and I forgot what movie it was. One of you guys out there, as old as I am or older, knows what movie it is. I'm clearing $33 and change on a $46 item. No, thank you. If you're into it for $2, I'd still take it. Jimmy D says, fell on deaf ears. How can you contact to talk with in person? Go into listings.
Well, he also said help forces you to leave an email.
Right. So go into your listings.
What happened to that little box that
a lady wasn't
remember
a lady.
Jovial was saying
Yeah, it says
she sent I saw it and then Jovial sent me a screenshot and
do this right now, Jimmy. I just did it. Go to your seller hub on the computer and click on your drafts. And then on the bottom right of your screen, you'll have a question mark. Click on that question mark, and there's a little bubble that pops up that says, have us call you. Click on that.
Why do they have to hide it?
Click on that, and the wait time is currently 2 minutes. I really think that when the wait times get too long, they disable it. When the wait times get too long, it won't give you the option for that. It's always kind of hit and miss. But that's what I would do is click on that. Now, if you don't get that option, here's a little trick. When you don't get the option to have us call you, you can go and do visit help and contact, and then go into the contact us, and make up like seller creating a listing, right? And then chat with our automated assistant. And then what I like to do is say, I have a question about the shoe authentication process. And then he'll give me a link, and then I'll say, have someone call me. And then he or she, whatever the heck it is, this bot will have someone call you. So those are two ways to get a rep on the phone. American Legend says they must have adjusted some of the promoted listing. Imagine clearing less than $30 on a $50 item. Yeah, it does happen. This depends on how you have it set up. KC New York says, hi, John, Jenna in chat. Nice to see you, KC. Jimmy says, I thought there was a change for a person to review these requests. The request you put in, it's supposed to be reviewed by a human, right? But is AI kicking out the ones that have no, let's say someone just doesn't like the fact they got a negative, is AI kicking those out if they don't give a good reason, and the ones that are with a questionable reason are being sent to a queue of some sort? I don't know. Harlan Braley, nice to see you, Harlan, from Maine. Love to go to Maine sometimes. Sounds like a great place to be. American Legend says, I'm here and I'll be in the Bearded Picker chat to bitch and moan if he will have me. Is he doing one tonight? I don't know if he's doing one tonight. I haven't even seen Beard. I don't know where he's at. I'm not sure if he's watching. Paul says, Jenna, have you been hanging out with spam? You may have caught the yawn bug. LOL. I don't know if he's live on Mondays after the show. I don't know. I haven't heard if he's going live today or not. Bama says, Mike, you can head this way now if you want to, but we'll probably eat about noon. Well, Mike, you can always use your frequent flyer points. If you showed up my door on Thanksgiving, I would consider that the best present I can get from you. So there you go. There's your invitation. Pico says, I'll be here even if you're not. Honor Squads, I'll probably be busy Friday. Okay. Yeah. That's like a 50-50. Is a probably we can be here Friday. Paul says, John, give yourself a break on Friday. You guys deserve it.
Well, I just text Tommy to tell him to bring his golf club. So
and PPP too, John. Well, we're probably going to do PPP tomorrow after I get back from picking up some merchandise. So we want to keep the PPP train going. So for those of you guys who don't know what the hell PPP is, it's the Profit Playbook Podcast. We do an episode every Saturday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern time, and it's Josh Galt, Bearded Picker, and myself. And sometimes we'll have a guest, sometimes we don't. And we have a really solid conversation. It's an unscripted conversation. Most of the time we don't even know what we're going to talk about before we go, right? We just hit the record button and we just talk about whatever comes to our mind. It's a very organic conversation, and many people appreciate that it's, not scripted, not trying to be funny when we're not, or just trying to fit it within a mold of, like some people say, like the sale of the week, what did you sell? And we don't do that stuff. We're just here to have a conversation about the things that we experience. Let's see. Paul says, well, we already read that. Biff says, keep it silver. No, just for John. All right. Well, this part, right? I gotta get rid of that.
No, that's what makes it unique.
It's my skunky streak.
Your streak.
It's called me the skunky fox. Susan Phelps says, I have my store on 15% with a $5 coupon, 50 watchers and nothing. eBay says send offers. They have two most of the time, $20 or more, and many of 50. Really don't feel I'm going to. Yeah, it's really tough. Why is it that people will, okay, your item will come up in a search. So your item met that criteria. So multiple people have clicked on your listing, right? So they thought it was compelling enough to look at what you have to offer, but you can't convert the sale. So my thought is, okay, did I not do enough with my price, my photos, my listing? Or maybe it's another seller or other sellers that are looking and doing research and looking at your item.
Yeah.
There's been a few where I've received offers from people because I'm in their items doing research and seeing what they sold and how they sold it. And eBay now thinks I'm an interested buyer, and I'm not. Let's see. Mike says, thanks for the invite, Josh, but was just kidding. But for sure, when I'm in Crossville next year, love to your family and happy Thanksgiving. Yeah. That's awesome. You guys are awesome. Glenn Scotland says, hello, John, Jen, and chat. Happy birthday.
Oh, hello, Glenn.
Nice to see you. All in a day's review says, good evening. Thanks for being here.
Hello.
And, those of you who are relatively new to the show, maybe you're not, but you just haven't popped into the chat. Would love to hear from you. I think it's always cool. We get new people that come on in and say hi. And that's
we
totally
love
cool.
When you talk back to us.
Yeah. We have 135 watching and probably like 20 people in the chat. So the 100 and some odd people who just don't have a way to chat or choose not to, we're thinking of you. Flipping from the trailers has got to hang out with ADH Dave and Carrie and Don Sunday and Rod.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
How
fun.
Awesome. That's a fun crowd.
Yeah. Met up with ADH Dave a couple times. I don't think I'm his cup of tea, to be honest with you, but Carrie and Don, very nice. And Rod, we met up with him in October. Yeah. So American Legend says, plus throwing privacy concerns with Windows recall. I imagine the money is there just to part things out, and I intend to do so. Mm-hmm. So there's a Windows recall. I think Microsoft went down in stocks or something. Maybe I did hear something about Microsoft. Mm-hmm. Jovial says, John, do you have location services turned on off on your phone? Companies love to track one's location, including eBay. I do have it turned on for certain apps. I'm not sure about eBay, but maybe I should turn it off, because what's the point?
I'm wondering if you turn it off while you're here.
Why not just turn it off altogether? Now, will eBay turn you off if you turn them off from seeing where you're at?
Well,
but why would eBay care to know where you're at? Why would that be? Why would they need to have tracking services enabled on their app for you? Why would there even be an option? Why does it matter if I'm in Hawaii tomorrow and I'm telling people it'll get shipped, and I don't have a record of missing my shipping or having high, lates? Why don't you just trust that I'm going to run my business the way I say I am? Maybe I have someone working for me.
Yeah.
Susan Phelps says, could be everyone traveling. Maybe.
Yeah.
Rob Something says, eBay doesn't throttle sales. 2 years ago, I had a major score of 3,500 of one single DVD that was a true bolo. I sold all of them in the 10 days after Thanksgiving. I was averaging 9 to 10 sales days a year. But that's just it. If you have the items that people are looking for, people are going to find it no matter where you pop up in search. So you have a good price on that item, you're going to pop up at the top or near the top of price plus shipping, right? There goes the right. But it's a question. I really think that the only control that eBay has is where they decide to put you in a best match search. So if you have reached what they feel exceeds what you normally do they lower that? Now, if you have a good item that people are seeking and you have it at a good price point, you're going to exceed that threshold for based on previous performance because you just have a good enough item that's going to be found regardless. I don't know. That's just my thought process behind it. The news is on that, whether you want to consider it good news or bad news, is that none of us know. I don't know. Rob doesn't know. Tech and sports, they don't know. None of these people on YouTube know exactly what's baked in the algorithm and the things that we need to try to hit on and what's holding us back, if there's something holding us back and anything like that. Even Ebert, he's 5 years removed from eBay. So there's so many things. You guys can agree. So many things have changed in 5 years. So, what was going on back then may not even be the same. Mike says, John, it makes no sense. If a seller can manage to list 3,000 items, then why does eBay think you can't handle shipping out more items?
Yeah.
It's just a theory. It's not meaning that this is I got it figured out. It's just a theory of mine,
Yeah.
Paul Rose says, Jovio makes a good point. Maybe disable any location tracking, delete Google Maps app, etc. if you go out of town to see if it makes any difference.
Yeah. It's definitely something to look into.
Biff says, would eBay consider your two stores as a single account in terms of sales cap, but then give views the stores differently in terms of high ASP, low ASP, or high sell-through rate, low sell-through rate? That's a good question.
Yeah.
From
what it appears is that they treat them as two separate stores. From the way that the way that everything works in both of the stores, I don't see that them.
I just think it's strange.
At them as
I just think it's strange though that our main store falls off as our second store takes off. Of course, you can chalk that up to the Q4 problems I've been having of obtaining the same kind of stuff I've been getting the first 9 months of the year, but it just the patterns, right? Just now, if I get good stuff in January, back on par with what I'm used to getting, and I'm doing the same thing with the second store, and the second store falls off as the main store gets better, then it'll only confirm what I was thinking. Simple Beautiful says, hey, J&J, remember I complained about something like that 2 weeks ago. I think at the time we thought it was metrics, but my metrics were good. I just don't know what it is. Unfortunately, there's a lot of opinionated people out there. I'm one of them, right? There it goes right again. I'm going to think about that all the time now.
I'm going to have to.
I guess so. But it's a question. It's still a question. So I'm very strongly opinionated. There's other people that are saying, look, it's just a conspiracy theory. It's not, that it's not like that. And there's people that think that way. But who's right? How can you validate that? I mean, everyone has, to me, this is right because this is what I see working, right? And there's others that say this is right because this keeps happening. So who's right? Right? American Legend says, I'll make that call, but I'll have to gather evidence. Paul says, I'm a bit late in asking, but how was Usher? You guys have a good time. I think the company was better than the show. We enjoyed hanging out with Harlan and Marcia. I remembered. And the show happened and it was okay. It was only okay for me. Pitco says, I quit jumping through hoops for potential buys as they almost always don't follow through. Amazon says, too much effort for a small sale. I had a customer yesterday that wanted me to sell him one half of a set of 4 for half price, half of 50, 25. And I said, sorry, can't do it. Just not worth the time, in my opinion. Yeah. Julie says, oh my God, I get it. Buyers asking me several measurements and style codes, which is in the listing. They would just read, then crickets, annoying.
Yes.
Yes.
So annoying.
And it's like they just don't have it. There's no consideration for your time. You would think by the amount of time and effort, fast reply, looking up information for them, giving them measurements, going outside and measuring stuff in the garage in the middle of the night would be enough to at least put you on maybe a priority list in that person's mind. Like, you know what, this person's been good to me. I'm going to do everything I can to buy from this person, because who wouldn't want to deal with the seller that's on top of things? If there's a problem, they're going to be there. They're not going to ghost you. Mm-hmm. So you give that seller every opportunity to earn the sale because they have so far. But to take that information and then run off somewhere to save $2, you know what? In this particular case, hopefully they end up with someone that's not as responsive, and they'll think about the next time when they have someone jump through hoops, how they're going to treat that person. Mike Gerda says international buyers are repeat offenders that waste a ton of my time through messaging. Right, block.
Mm-hmm. Thankfully, we don't have a lot of that.
Andres Cross says electronics go ground advantage on Poshmark. Do they? Then why don't they have the rest of their labels ground advantage and just be done with it? Yeah. I don't know what that is about.
I've never sold an electronic on Poshmark, so I wouldn't know, but that's interesting to know that they have the capability to offer it. Why don't they do that on everything else?
Team G says, I was at the post office this morning and they had a sign that stated that used electronics need to be shipped with ground advantage ground service, because it's the batteries. They don't want to fly with batteries and stuff. Beamy Reseller says, happy birthday, John. Many blessings from both of us. That's Bill and Margie.
Midgie. My God, child. What is wrong with you?
How did I become a child? I'm 51 years old.
Because you can't remember anything.
And you can.
No.
Okay. King of Kings says, my birthday Thanksgiving as well. Awesome.
Oh, well, happy birthday, King of Kings.
I know there's a ton of cool people in this chat. Jovial Juggler says, Blue Sky is the new social media platform, so I hear.
Blue Sky.
Blue Sky, Threads, all that. I don't have time. I don't have time for all of it. I don't have time. Even Sagittarius.
Blue Sky.
Simple Beautiful says, happy birthday. Thank you so much. Julie says, every 7, my birthday, 27. So Julie's is on the 27th, and every 7 years.
Every 7, my birthday, 27.
I think she means that every 7 years, Thanksgiving's on her birthday, which is the 27th. If I had to decipher that.
Okay.
Duncan says, my Faxi book, eBay Masters Reselling Group, is like a ghost town, and Facebook is not really worth the time.
Yeah, I have now come to the conclusion and found that Facebook is either for selling groups or old people.
But there are some eBay groups on there that have promise. I was kind of a member of a group, wasn't a moderator or anything, but I'd get on there and I'd help people out until I got kicked off. I got kicked off of the group because
I remember.
I put the mods on blast for the way they were treating people in the chat, like condescending. Like, people come into groups and they don't have the same type of experience or the same level of experience. They ask what you deem to be a stupid question, or maybe, don't understand your answer. And then they ask about it and you give them a very frustrated answer. Those people need to go. People shouldn't be mods. Amazon seller says Benihana's gives a great birthday discount, but it's only good Monday through Thursday.
That's okay.
Hey, I'm a reseller. I don't have to clock in at a certain time. I can say, you know what? Taking a break. We're going to lunch. Let's go.
And there's usually less people, which is what we love.
Duncan's going to KFC on Thursday. Honor Squad likes Benihana. We enjoy it. Love get the extra garlic butter.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Alicia says government doesn't know where $1 billion went, but they know when you didn't claim $17 on your taxes. Yep.
Right.
Yep. Jerry's a Scorpio. Okay. Nicole Smith is Pisces, Aries moon. Nicole Smith. Nicole is the Pisces. She's Pisces on Sunday.
Sun, Aries moon, and Sagittarius rising.
What the hell does all that mean?
I don't know what any of that means. However, I've heard it before.
I don't know what that means.
There's a whole thing to this astrology thing. I don't follow it. I don't know anything about it. I know I'm a Capricorn, and that's about it.
I don't know. Jovial Juggler says, how many FAE family members were born in November? I don't know.
Oh, it seems to be quite a few.
So for the trailer, says my dad will be 82 on the 28th.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Happy birthday to your dad.
Paul Rose says, John, I don't believe the star signs, but I do have a scorpion tattoo on my left shoulder from the late 80s, early 90s. Unfortunately, it has too many legs. Band friends used to call it my rock lobster. Now that's interesting.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Beamy says, Bill is cooking for Thanksgiving as usual. So good. My job is pernil and sweet potato casserole. What the heck is a pernil?
What is pernil?
Isn't pernil like
it must be like a
I thought pernil was like laundry soap.
That's Persil.
Oh. The crazy card says stainless is the only way to go. Yes, I will be finding this out. Pete, Crazeless Hunter, the goat, is in the house. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello.
Awesome to see you. It's cool that you're one of the folks that listen to us. It's pretty cool. Paul Rose says, hi, Pete. Yes. Midgie says, preferred stainless for decades. Tried Calphalon for a bit. Went back to stainless.
Yeah. What's the chemical in
Teflon?
No. Is it in Teflon?
Well, I mean,
it's the PE. I want to see it say PEM.
Oh, PTFE or something?
I don't remember
PTFE.
what it is, but it's weird how when you get older, you actually care about a lot more things, and knowing that there's a chemical in there.
But even Hexclad, they're saying, yeah, we coat our cookware with diamond dust. I'm like, that doesn't sound good. I don't want any diamond dust in my food. And does that increase the value of my food? I don't know. Silver Hair says, cha-ching number 3. See,
number 3.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
He sold 3 toothbrush holders.
Christine Talona says, I'm still here, only able to listen tonight.
Well, hello, Christine.
Now, this is the same Christine that is the one that everyone hates me, Christine?
Yeah.
Okay. One. Nice to see you.
Nobody hates you.
Well, no, that's what she said.
Maybe some people do, but we don't.
Victor Wawiorka says, I listen, but don't always comment as I might tune in late.
That's all right.
Your late comments are good. Because, see, you're tuning in late is on time because I'm reading late, right?
Yeah, because, you wrote that at 4:08. It's now 4:43.
Yeah, so you probably tuned out. Jovial says, if you happen to burn something in an 18 by 10 stainless pot pan, simply bring salt water to a boil and voila, no more icky, sticky mess. There you go.
Wait, say that again. Burn.
I won't be the one burning it, though. And that's the thing. She cannot use high heat on this thing. Stop cooking on high.
You know what? You're just as guilty.
Cooking it on high. No, I'm not. I use medium.
Our kids used to cook everything on full blast.
Which is why I never bought cookware.
Which is why we never bought good, expensive stuff. But she said, simply bring salt water to a boil.
Okay. Zach says, thanks for the welcome. I have been selling on eBay for a few months now and have earned top-rated seller.
Nice.
I'm going to change over to paid shipping and free returns. Thoughts? Looks like a great deal.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's good. There's a number of items that I've been looking at to maybe set for free returns. I think that, maybe you can go with a calculated and then buyer pays. And what I like to do is end item sell similar on the 28th, 29th day before eBay gets their hands on it to recycle it to a new 30. And then I'll start getting more aggressive. Okay, boom. Let's accept offers. Let's do free returns. Let's do things that's going to change the listing, not only to make it more appealing to a buyer, but also to the algorithm. Basket Noodles with us. Thanks for being here. She did it. You can do it. Lisa says, I know you know I'm listening. John and Jenna always interested, up-to-date content. Thank you. Well, awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
That's nice that you're here and checking in with us.
Yes.
Look at this as your bi-weekly team meeting, right? So we all work for the same company. We kind of work for eBay, even though we don't work for eBay, but eBay looks at us as their contracted employees. And we're all meeting together to discuss pain points and developments and all that stuff. Basket Noodle says, IT comes from golf, John. Too much flogging the putter.
Wow.
Homeless Flippers says, happy birthday, John. Fellow
Sounds
Scorpio
so
here
dirty.
too. Well, thank you so much.
Flogging
I
the
appreciate
butter.
you. Pitco says, John, on your 60th birthday, you might not want to be doing hard stuff, but you better still be on here. Yeah,
Oh,
I'll be
God,
here.
that's a long- well,
It might be,
he might be used sitting on his shower.
it might be flapping knees. It might be a different show altogether. I would say that way. It might be a totally different show. Do you have the flap on the toilet seat in or out today, John? I don't know. Beamy says, turning 60 on December 10th. Wait until you get here. Oh boy. I can just wait.
I'm just frightened.
I just hope my knees hold up better than my dad's knees held up.
That's
he
what
had to
I'm
have
afraid of. Every time you complain that your knee's hurting, I'm like, oh,
I've watched
God,
him go
here we
through
go.
knee replacement surgeries,
Yes.
and I'd rather just deal with the pain and not have to deal with that.
No, you're
limited-
not going to do that.
Just pop the pills and be good.
No.
Baskin Noodle says she has smartphones built into her feet. Trying to catch up a little bit, by the way. Baskin Noodle says health conditions like lupus, multiple sclerosis, ALS, and others can very much change one's outlook on life.
Yeah, it is absolutely. She's done an entire 360 as far as her mental. I don't know if it's a spiritual thing. I don't know what it is, but I'm really grateful for it.
So Keith wants to know when the next members live is. So here's the challenge that I have. Normally we like to do it the first
distraction.
Right. We like to have this done on the first Wednesday of every month. So by schedule, it'll be a week from Wednesday. But kids are coming out this week through Sunday. And then on Tuesday, we have our friends that come in from out of town for Cowboy Christmas. There's this big hoopla here in Vegas. NFR, but it's Cowboy Christmas. So you have like 6 big convention centers, that some at the different hotels and the Las Vegas Convention Center, where people come, bring all their Western wares, and they it's really a cool thing to go to. And they're coming out for that, for the rodeo, to do all the cowboy Western stuff that's out here. They'll be out here for a good solid week and a half. And they reached out and said, hey, just like the last couple of years, we're doing all these things. You're welcome to join us. And we're like, cool, but we still have to work. We can't just be gone for a week and a half. That ain't going to happen. So we have to kind of pick and choose. And I'm not for sure if Wednesday is going to be a good or bad day to do the live, but I'll know more here pretty soon. I'll call up and talk and find out.
We have to figure out what is the event on Wednesday, the 4th.
Let's see. Basket Noodle says, Jenna, if you swallow your yawns, that's how one's legs fall asleep. Just saying.
Well, funny that you say that is I sit cross-legged in my chair, which makes my feet fall asleep.
Paul says, John, you need to try that one stream. Just start both staring into the camera quietly and see how long it takes chat to freak out. But how many people would freak out? How many people would say, this channel is weird, I'm getting the hell out of here?
I don't know. You're frozen.
Taco Wolf Collectibles. Oh God. Wolf, I think that's you.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to see you, buddy.
That's awesome. Hey.
Larry Todd. Oh God, John Denver movie. Yes. Oh God was the movie with Mr. Burns. George Burns. King of Kings. I thought George Burns was from The Simpsons. He was on The Simpsons. I think they did something for him, but Paul Rose says, oh God, you devil rings a bell, John. George Burns film. Yep. See, you guys know more about George Burns than me.
I don't know.
The crazy card, old George posed with Vanessa Williams, and it ended up on the cover of Playboy magazine. What a player. We got Alex Beard King Picker with us.
Hey.
Nice to see you. Jerry Johnson says, John, have you heard about Kevin Commonwealth Picker has set up an account on District as commons and resellers can resell items in lots to get rid of inventory or purchased inventory.
Yeah,
Jerry, I got to tell you, yes, I do know. He came on to the Profit Playbook podcast last month in October and told us all about it. And it is like what used to be known as wholesale, where you can, as a seller, say, I got all this stuff and I just want to move it on to someone else, give them a chance to mess with it. Maybe they want to spend time, selling it. And then you put it on the site at a reasonable price. They get their cut. You ship it out, and both sides are happy. That's kind of how it works. Who did it? 99. Not being able to deduct original shipping is a total ripoff to sellers. I did notice that buyers would call into eBay to complain, and eBay would always refund the shipping anyways. Yes, they would refund not only shipping, but also if you deduct it up to 50%. See, eBay gives that buyer 10 business days to dispute anything you deduct from their refund. And then for some accounts, that money's still on hold, even though you refunded most of it to the buyer. Basket Noodle, I usually don't talk when I PPP. that's a good idea.
It's called wisdom.
Wisdom, yes. John, I have gotten gray patches on the sides in the last couple of years, like Ash from Evil Dead. LOL. Axe Monkey, I had 3 sales in Primo's Live, now 3 sales here.
Nice.
But I like to think you hit the like button on one of our videos before you watch Primo's channel and got the sales. I'm just saying. Andy Reno says, question mark, what do you do if you get
for all of them?
I do. What do you do if you get a return while you're on vacation time away? That one's kind of tough because eBay gives you, eBay gives you like 2 or 3 days to deal with the return once it's received. You can refund them blindly, I guess, and hope that you're not getting like a brick.
I mean, unfortunately, sometimes you just gotta.
I would rather do that than to let it time out and get a defect. Samantha Hunter, John, seems like this year coming and going to bring you more viewership. Oh, this year coming in is going to bring you more viewership. Hang on, my friend. You know the rest. I'm not going to let it stop me from doing the channel. I mean, look, you got people like that are gracious enough, like Pete, that'll like, wear a shirt that we send them for the channel and give us shout outs. I think that's done more for the channel than anything else. I got to do more for the channel. It's just like selling on eBay, right? We talk about, the sales aren't where I want it to be. Well, if you want to increase your sales, we can't wait for eBay to change. We got to do something within our business to change. And the same thing goes with the videos. I've got to find a way. Problem is just time management. That's been my biggest hurdle. So got to work it out so where I can get more content out and to get back to where I was making the kind of content that I was. Basket Noodle says, yes, most of the day I stare at the screen waiting for a sale and talk to the spiders and make sure the paint is still on point. Marty the One's with us. Thanks for being here. Hello, John and Jenna. Good to be on the live, guys. My sales have been a great this year overall. We'll top around 8,000 this year. Normally I do 7. I'm happy at the day job right now.
Nice. Well, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, well, thanks for being here. And you know what? Doesn't matter the number. Doesn't matter the number you put on it. I think the number only means something to you because to someone else, you said 80,000. I said 8,000, right? So 80,000 instead of 70,000. That's awesome. But still, the number doesn't matter. It all matters is it acceptable for you? Is this what works for you? Because 80,000 might be like, wow, I'm never going to achieve that to someone else, but their 10,000 is fine, right? Mm-hmm. So as long as that works for you, then, keep doing what you're doing. Andy said, thanks for the advice, Jovi. I'll be on a cruise. That's awesome.
Yeah,
like to go on a cruise.
Told him to just have another drink.
Basket Noodle says, actually, I've been studying mobile phone programming libraries. There's always hope the sun goes out before I complete my studies. Yeah, I'm a little old to try to study stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Morty the One, I want to be methodical in growing my store. I keep it around 75 to 85 listings. Number of sales a month range from 20 to 27. Any suggestions for me? Just keep going with what's comfortable for you. So, if you're listing more than what you're selling, you're always going to grow, right? So if you're only listing, and that was a question. Again, if you're listing and you're selling 2 or 3 a day, you're listing 5 or 6 a day, your store's going to grow. I think that's kind of what eBay wants you to do. Midgie says, and then there are those who rent your items and want to return them, and then they're done when they're done.
So annoying.
Which is why I do not like selling costumes in October for Halloween, because there's a very good chance you're going to get a return from someone who just wanted to rent it.
Yeah.
Paul says, I've had worse. A buyer once asked me if I'd sell an expensive, professionally framed movie poster Jaws 2 on its own without the frame was already packed and would have made of the frame worthless. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So sorry, this is a package
Yeah.
deal. Trying to get through, so I might have to skip a
happy birthdays.
I know. Happy birthday. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for that. Margie, what? No, wait, no.
That's Midgie.
Midgie. Dang it. Midgie.
I don't know why it's so hard for him.
She
to
gets
remember.
called Jenny.
Oh, I
right?
get called a
Gemma.
lot of names.
Gemma, Jenny.
Gemma.
They've called you Gemma before.
Oh, well, maybe they have. It's
Basket Noodle says, taking notes. Let's see. Maybe, A1 Facebook is for old people.
what I say.
I think it's still a place for people to go. Duncan says, John, you would not find ephemera there. You would use international suppliers like I do. Ephemera items are so easy to store and ship. Maybe I'll transition at some point to that, but
how
not
do you
yet.
get to know people in other countries to become a supplier? I just don't know. Sounds like
and then
a lot of work.
Christine's doing her tarot cards, I think. I don't know.
What did she say?
Aries moon, Pisces sun, Scorpio's rising, Libra's fishing. I don't know what's going on. Midgie says Puerto Rican roast pork shoulder, pronounced pernil. Pernil.
It's silent, I think.
Okay.
Pernil.
Okay. Basket Noodle to Libra. Southern Vermont Vintage is with us. Thanks for being here. Nice to see you. Day late, dollar short. We'll have to restart. Yes. You missed a decent show, I think. Duncan VR says, John still looks fairly fit for 98 this week, Jenna. Should wrap up a shitter seat and give it for his present. Yes. I'll forget that I have them in stock. Basket Noodle says, well, time for me to feed the cat, snake, pumpkin. So take care all. God bless. Well, thank you for being here. We have Afuega. I see you are getting quite a few negatives recently by most likely some real goofballs. I guess you have realized it really doesn't matter. I noticed any drop in sales. No, not really noticing any drop in sales. It isn't like we haven't tried to get them removed. They just won't remove them. So what can I do? Leave a positive professional reply and just move on, right? Drummer says, is the seat down? Yeah, it is currently down. Yes. Pitco says, you better keep one of them shower shitters. Basket Noodle, she keeps calling on the smartphone. My office in the basement. Think I'm just going to butt hole on the floor, put a hangman's rope down. We have Dallas Flippin says, what's your favorite place to source? Online. I have some online sources I go to. I do, you know what? If I'm being honest with you, as far as the activity of sourcing, yard sales. And that has always been like a plan B sourcing. So as long as I'm sourcing well with liquidation, I don't need to go to yard sales. But going to yard sales and finding those $20, $30 items for $2 is still kind of a cool thing, right? And that's a question. I continually, whenever I go to a yard sale and I get a carload of stuff, I tend to get it all listed by the end of the weekend. So it works out. So maybe more yard sales. Basket Noodle says, okay, please be a patient and don't return. I'm on vacation. Bite me. Pitco says, flipping it easy. How about this? Why don't you do a members only video and then do the members live a week later? I do that too.
That's a possibility.
I'm always looking to put out content for the members. So, it could pop up any time. So be on the lookout for that. Paul Rose says, John, I join a few lives on several channels. I've seen a drop in chat on most lately. Don't think it's anything to do with your content, and it'll probably be short-lived. Well, it's more the long form stuff that I'm putting out, not the lives. So I really need to get back to just the discussions. Like, this is what I'm dealing with, my thoughts on this topic. And, that went pretty well back in the day. Samantha says, everyone have a happy Thanksgiving day. Don't gobble too much. Chat with y'all again. John and Jenna, love you. Enjoy your time with family and friends. Goodbye.
We love you guys, and we want you to have a very happy Thanksgiving, no matter what you're eating, that you take time to love on your friends and your family, love on each other, because tomorrow is not promised. We love you.
And thank you guys for the super chats. Thank you for the memberships. And thank you for the birthday wishes. Want each and every one of you guys to have a great Thanksgiving. And just know that, you know what, sometimes eBay is going to come at you with offers. And while it's okay to take advantage of those, I've always said, if eBay's willing to give you free money for promotions and advertising, then go with it. But be very, very careful and follow up to make sure that you're getting the promised discounts. But figuring all that out is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. I want you guys, again, to have an excellent rest of your day and a great, even better week. And we will talk to you guys here. We will try to have one on Friday. So look for you guys on Friday to be here, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.